Well, our mission is inspiring excellence for every learner every day. Learning has changed in the 21st century, and as we look at our high school in particular, we've designed a program called Career Pathways, which really leads students toward making good decisions about what they're going to do beyond high school. Well, no longer is learning out of a book enough. We have to provide students the opportunity to do hands-on learning, but have the tools and equipment that they might experience when they leave us.
One of the issues that we're facing in our country, we are facing a healthcare worker shortage. So if you can get kids who maybe are trying to discern their path in life and get them interested in healthcare, that will help us tremendously.
The whole purpose here is to really develop a relationship with the schools so that we can have a workforce that will continue to repopulate for generations to come. And the reality is, it is tough to find quality workers.
It is about that flexible learning, collaborative space that students need to be able to be successful. And so when I talk with teachers, or when we look at co-teaching models and opportunities for students to engage in just inquiry-based learning, they need to have the flexibility and the space to make that happen. And sometimes that can't happen in rows of classrooms with doors facing out to one hallway.
Well, the current Owatonna High School has served our community for nearly 100 years, and it's served them well. And the things we're missing now within the facility is we're missing out on spaces that provide more collaboration. We're missing out on larger spaces for some of our industrial technology and other career and tech ed classes.
Any of these sorts of activities where kids are working with their hands, our present setting for those kids is very old, it's antiquated, basically it's in the bowels of the school building itself. It's dark, there's very little airflow.
The classroom was built in 1956-57, and it was originally a chemistry room, and a lot of these rooms up on our floor have been retrofit from other types of classrooms. They aren't set up in a real ideal format any longer. A lot of our science work now is more independent research oriented, and it's very difficult to do those types of things in a lab that's set up in a 1950s format.
Traffic is a big issue here at Owatonna High School. I've noticed that as I've been going down the hallway, it sometimes is difficult for our students to negotiate. We have band, we have orchestra, and we have choir. That's 1/5 of the student body that transfers classes within 4 minutes class time. 1/5 of the student body goes in this tiny hallway.
The transformation is just, has been significant. For students, I think it's coming into a building where they feel like this is cool. This is a fun place to come to school.
So you notice kind of the corners, and each number was in a corner. Being in this new space, I feel like it's opened up a lot of opportunities for me, but as well as my students. Within like the planning piece, having all of the furniture that you can move, the flexible seating, we know that in order for students to learn best, they have to be active, and so having this type of space, both in the classroom and outside of our classroom, it allows for kids to be moving a little bit more.
How many of you did some Greek and Latin root word at your elementary schools?
Now you have flexible learning spaces where kids can collaborate with each other and meet in small groups and brainstorm and build off each other's talents and strengths.
Teachers are no longer maybe what we would call the sage on the stage, but they're the guide on the side. And they are looking to facilitate learning for students, and that means, again, providing those hands-on experience to really expand the horizons of our kids.
So at the top of one side of your book, nonfiction?
It's all about the flexibility. It's all about meeting kids where they are at. And that's what we're trying to do every day. And this space allows us to do that.
So there's a corollary that is present in our community. So about 10 years ago, we were stuck in an old healthcare campus in the center part of town that no longer met the needs of our community and allowed us for no future growth. we realized we were not going to be able to meet the community's needs in that old facility. So we hatched this idea of a new healthcare campus. Now, a decade later, here we are. What's happened? Our healthcare providers have grown tremendously. Our hospital has grown. We're thriving in a time when other communities are struggling. I think this is an opportunity for us as a community to look forward, to say, what can education be in our community? And it does take facilities to do that.
You know, after a failed referendum in May of 2019, we listened to our community and we heard some glaring themes. One of them is that we had to have the tax impact lower, a lower cost to our constituents. We had to find a way to repurpose our current high school or reutilize that site. And so we answered those questions. So question 1 on the ballot this November will be, we're asking for a new high school on a new site for $104 million. That will provide those relevant and authentic classrooms that we're looking for career pathways and instruction in the 21st century. Secondly, we're asking the community for an additional $8 million for repurposing of our current site for district and/or community usage that will help us to move our community forward into the next 100 years. It's a great way for us to address all of the things that the community feels need addressing to further the education of our students in Owatonna.
I am Owatonna Proud.
I am Owatonna Proud.
I am Owatonna Proud.
I'm Owatonna Proud.
I am Owatonna Proud.